Okay. Good morning, children. Yesterday we discussed about the single cell proteins. Up to single cell proteins completed done. Up to single cell proteins completed. Today we have to discuss the new topic, plant tissue culture. Okay. Same 13th chapter. 13th chapter. Okay. What is the 13th chapter then? Same 13th chapter, continuation. Last topic, plant tissue culture. Strategies for enhancement of food production. Last topic, important topic, plant tissue culture. Plant tissue culture. Plant tissue culture. Okay, this is the last important topic of the 13th chapter. Plant tissue culture. And what is plant tissue culture? Okay, means cultivation of plant tissues. Plant tissue culture means cultivation of plant tissues in vitro conditions. In vitro cultivation of plant tissues in vitro conditions on artificial medium. Cultivation of plant tissues in vitro conditions on artificial medium. Okay. The concept is based on totipotency. And what is totipotency? Totipotency. The concept of plant tissue culture is based on totipotency. And what is totipotency? Totipotency means the ability of a plant cell to give rise to a whole plant is called totipotency. Totipotency means the ability of a plant cell, to give rise a complete plant is called totipotency. The ability of a plant cell to give rise to a whole plant, complete plant is called totipotency. Okay, but what we have to do in this plant tissue culture? In this method, the cells are taken from selected parts of a plant and grown in test tube under highly controlled conditions. After some days, these cells divide and gives rise to new plant. So that is the plant tissue culture technique. So in this plant tissue culture technique, we have to cultivate the plant tissues. The tissues directly gives rise to new plantlets. But where we have to cultivate the tissues? In artificial cultured medium only. Completely in vitro condition means in test tubes only. Completely we have to prepare culture medium for culture of the tissues, for culture of the cells. We have to prepare some culture medium. In that culture medium only, the plant tissues able to grow and gives rise to a complete plant. So that is the plant tissue culture method. The main concept of the plant tissue culture is totipotency. What is totipotency? Means the ability of a plant cell gives rise to a whole plant is called totipotency. Totipotency. So this plant tissue culture is also called micropropagation. Micropropagation. So this plant tissue culture includes several steps. But what are the steps are there in plant tissue culture? We have to see what are the steps are there in plant tissue culture. Steps. First step is preparation of plant tissue culture medium. Preparation of plant tissue culture medium. First step is preparation of plant tissue culture medium. Preparation of plant tissue culture medium. Preparation of plant tissue culture medium. Medium preparation is important first. Second one, collection of explant. Collection of explant. Collection of explant. Okay. Third one, surface sterilization of explant. Third one, surface sterilization of explant. Surface sterilization of explant. Surface sterilization of explant. Fourth one, inoculation. Inoculation. Okay. Fifth one, incubation. Fifth one, incubation. Sixth one, acclimatization and field transfer. Acclimatization and field transfer. Field transfer. Okay. So these are the 6 steps are there in plant tissue culture. First one, preparation of plant tissue culture medium, collection of explant. Third one, surface sterilization of explant. Fourth one, inoculation. Fifth one, incubation. Sixth one, acclimatization and field transfer. Okay, with the help of these 6 steps, we have to understand easily about the plant tissue culture technique. Okay. Okay, then. So, what diagrams also there for this? With the help of diagram, we have to explain clearly with the help of the diagram. Okay. Okay. So, what are the steps are there in plant tissue culture? First one, preparation of medium. Medium preparation is the most important. The medium means culture medium, which mainly contain macronutrients and micronutrients. The medium must contain macronutrients, and vitamins, amino acids, and growth hormones, axins and cytokinins. Okay. Carbon source, sucrose. Okay. Sucrose. And pH of the medium you should adjust 5.7, which is acidic medium. Okay. Then you should the culture media contain all these components. The medium must contain macronutrients, micronutrients, vitamins, amino acids, growth hormones, axins, cytokinins, carbon source, sucrose. pH of the medium you should adjust to 5.7, acidic medium. So all these compounds you should keep in the vessel, means a test tube. Now you can sterilize these components in autoclave. Okay, all these components you should collect in that test tube. The test tube, which included all the components, you should sterilize. Means sterilization means you should because of the sterilization process we can get these components free from microorganisms. So sterilization. So all these components you should keep in test tube, and you should keep in autoclave for surface sterilization. Autoclave. You should keep it in autoclave. Autoclave means this is the steam sterilizer. Autoclave is nothing but steam sterilizer. So total test tube with all these components, keep in autoclave at 121 degrees centigrade temperature. At least you should keep 15 minutes of time and 15 pounds of pressure compulsory. Okay, this autoclave maintains 121 degrees centigrade temperature. 15 minutes you should keep in autoclave. Pressure is 15 pounds. Okay. So this is the sterilization process which is carried out in autoclave. Autoclave is a steam sterilizer. Okay. So after the preparation of the culture medium, you should sterilize in autoclave. After the sterilization process, what do you have to do? After the sterilization process, you should collect the explant material. But what is explant? Explant means the portion of plant which is taken to get a desired plant is known as explant. The portion of a plant which is taken to get a desired plant is known as explant. Any portion of the plant you should take, either stem portion, either root portion, either leaf portion. So any portion of the plant, that is called explant. That is called what? Explant. That is called explant. Okay, that is called explant. That is called explant. That is called explant. Any portion of the plant, the portion of the plant which is taken to get a desired plant is known as explant. So then you should collect the explant from any portion, stem portion, root portion or leaf portion. Next, what you have to do? Surface sterilization of the explant material. Explant material is washed with running water, washed with tap water, or washed with some chemicals. So that is nothing but surface sterilization of explant. You have to particularly wash the explant material for removing of the microbes. So that is surface sterilization of explant material. Okay, after collecting the explant material, you should surface sterilize the explant material. Now fourth step now, inoculation. Inoculation means the process of transferring explant to culture medium under controlled aseptic conditions is called inoculation. Inoculation means transfer of explant to culture medium. Transfer of explant to culture medium means the transfer of explant into the test tube which contain culture medium. So that is the fourth step now, inoculation. The process of transferring explant to culture medium under controlled aseptic conditions is called inoculation. Then after mouth of the test tube is plugged with non-absorbent cotton. Okay, so that is the inoculation process. Inoculation after incubation. What is incubation? Culture flasks are kept in constant room temperature. The temperature must be 27 degrees centigrade and you should provide a small illumination means light for better growth of the callus. So in the incubation process you should maintain proper room temperature. But what is incubation? The culture flask, the test tube, the culture flasks are kept in constant room temperature. The temperature must be 27 degrees centigrade. A small illumination light is given to the culture for better growth of callus. So after the incubation, explant is divided into unorganized mass of cells that is called callus. See, this is the callus. Okay. So during the incubation only you should maintain the proper temperature, proper light. Then the cells of the explant divide repeatedly and grows into unorganized mass of cells. The unorganized mass of cells is called callus. Here explant is converted into callus. Okay. Callus can be regenerated into plantlet. Callus can be regenerated into plantlet. Callus can be regenerated into plantlet. Okay. So, but how the callus can be regenerated into plantlets? Regeneration of callus. Okay, callus can be regenerated into two methods. Callus can be regenerated into two methods. One is organogenesis method. One is organogenesis method. Another one is somatic embryogenesis. Another one is somatic embryogenesis. Somatic embryogenesis. Okay, organogenesis and somatic embryogenesis. Callus can be regenerated into plantlets in two methods. One is organogenesis and another one is somatic embryogenesis. But what is organogenesis? Okay, in this organogenesis, production of adventitious roots and shoots directly from callus is known as organogenesis. Production of roots and shoot from callus is called organogenesis. But what are the hormones are responsible for the production of roots and stem? High proportion of auxins that can induce root development from the callus and high proportion of cytokinins that can induce shoot development of the callus. As a result, new plantlets will develop. Okay, organogenesis means development of adventitious roots and shoots from callus is called organogenesis. Then the plantlet will form organogenesis. Okay, so these two methods you should maintain. Callus can be regenerated into plantlets in two methods. One is organogenesis, another one is embryogenesis. Organogenesis means production of adventitious roots and shoots from callus is called organogenesis. High proportion of auxins induce root development. High proportion of cytokinins induce shoot development from the callus. As a result, new plantlet will grow. But what is somatic embryogenesis? Production of embryo-like structure is called embryogenesis. These embryos produce the seeds able to give new plantlet. This is embryogenesis. Somatic embryogenesis. Okay. So, because of this organogenesis, because of this somatic embryogenesis, new plantlet was developed. Well-grown plantlets, then you should transfer into parts of a greenhouse, that is called acclimatization and field transfer. What is acclimatization and field transfer? Well-grown plantlets then transfer to pots in a greenhouse. The process is called acclimatization and field transfer. Okay. So, acclimatization and field transfer. But here one more thing here you can remember. This plant tissue culture is also called micropropagation. The new plants which are produced from the plant tissue culture that are resembled with the original plant. So these are called soma clones. Soma clones. Okay. These are called soma clones. These are called soma clones. What is meant by soma clone? The new plants which are produced from the plant tissue culture, the new plants which are resembles with the original plant. So that are called soma clones. Okay. And one more thing here you can remember. Next, but how we can produce virus-free plants? How we can produce virus-free plants from the plant tissue culture? Suppose if any plant is infected with virus, except the meristema tissue that doesn't affect the virus. Suppose if plant is infected with virus, only the meristematic tissue is free from virus. Only the meristematic tissue. Only the meristematic tissue. Okay, na? If any plant is infected with virus, only the meristematic tissue is apical or axial. Only the meristematic tissue is free from virus. So one can remove the meristematic tissue. From that you should take a small portion. You should cultivate the meristem in vitro condition. Then you can produce the plants. The plants are virus free. So like that virus free plants are produced from meristem of the plant roots. Okay. So with this method we have to produce virus free plants. If any plant is infected with virus, just only the meristematic tissue is free of virus. One, you should collect the meristematic tissue portion. You should cultivate the meristematic tissue in vitro conditions. From the meristematic tissue you can produce the new plants which are free from virus. So like that we have to produce virus free plants. And one more thing here you can remember, what is somatic hybridization? What are somatic hybrids? Okay, that is also one of the very important. Okay, what is somatic hybridization? What is somatic hybridization? Okay, hybridization. What is somatic hybridization? Means protoplast. Here you can remember what is protoplast. The cell whose cell wall is removed by enzymatic reactions, that is called protoplast. Protoplast means naked cell. The cell which do not contain cell wall, that is called protoplast. Okay, protoplast. So by using some enzymes, cellulase and peptase. By using that enzymes, we can we can digest the cell wall. So the cell which do not contain cell wall, naked cells, the cells whose cell wall is digested with the cell wall digesting enzymes like cellulase and peptide. So that type of the cells are called naked cells, that are called protoplast. Here, what we have to do? Isolated means separated. Isolated protoplasts of two different varieties of the plants. You should collect one protoplast from one plant. You should collect another protoplast from another plant. So these two are isolated protoplasts. So what is somatic hybridization? Fusion of isolated protoplast of two different varieties of the plants are fused. Then you can get hybrid protoplast. If you further cultivate the hybrid protoplast, then you can get the hybrid plants. So that type of the hybrid plants are called somatic hybrids. That type of the hybridization is called somatic hybridization. Okay, means fusion of two different type of the protoplast. Then you can get a hybrid protoplast. Further, if you cultivate the hybrid protoplast, then you can get the hybrid plants. That type of the hybrid plants are called somatic hybrids. That type of the propagation is hybridization is called somatic hybridization. For example, here the given. Suppose one small example here the given. Suppose protoplast of tomato is fused with potato. Protoplast of tomato is fused with protoplast of potato. So because of this fusion, new hybrid plant is developed. The new hybrid plant name is called pomato. This is the new hybrid somatic hybrid plant. How we got this pomato? By fusion of protoplast of tomato and protoplast of potato. Protoplast of tomato and protoplast of tomato. If you fuse, the new protoplast we get new protoplast. If you further culture means, then you can get a new hybrid plant. The new hybrid plant is called pomato. But unfortunately, this pomato doesn't have desirable characters for its commercial utilization. Okay, but this pomato doesn't have proper desirable characters for its commercial utilization. So this is the somatic hybridization. You should remember. Okay. Next, how we can get the virus-free plants? Meristem. About the meristem also you should remember. Or what are soma clones? Okay, why this is called micropropagation? Okay, so what are the applications of the plant tissue culture? Or what are the uses of plant tissue culture? First thing is, by this method, millions of plants we can produce within very short period of time. That is the one application, one use. Millions of plants we can produce within a very short period of time. Second one, virus-free plants are produced by this plant tissue culture method. How we can produce virus-free plants? Now I said, through meristematic tissue. And new hybrid varieties also we have to produce. New hybrid varieties also we have to produce by using this method. Okay. So this is about the plant tissue culture technique. Okay. Summary. With the help of plant tissue culture technique, which is implemented in some plants, especially in tomato plants, especially tomato, banana, okay, tomatoes, bananas, sugarcane, and bamboo, okay, eucalyptus, Okay. Okay. Eucalyptus, etc. Okay. Bamboo, sorry, tomato, banana, potato also, potato, sugarcane. Some examples. By using this plant tissue culture, we can produce some plants like tomato, potato, banana, sugarcane, bamboo, eucalyptus, teak also. Okay, these are the plants which we are produced by plant tissue culture method. So this is about the plant tissue culture method. So finally, from the plant tissue, we got a new plant which is free from soil. See, we didn't use any soil. Plant tissue is growing in culture medium only. No need to use any soil here. After the plant grows up to a planted stage, then you should transfer into soil. But up to this stage, you should no need to use any soil. Without soil only, the tissue develops into plantlet. After the development of the plantlet, you should transfer into pots in soil. Okay, so this is the plant tissue culture technique done. So far we completed the 13th chapter.